Good morning. Happy Monday morning to you. We're here for another week of your weight loss journey. Kick things off every Monday. Why do I do this on Mondays? Well, I do this on Mondays because this is the typical start of a diet week for most people, right? A lot of people, they begin their journey today. They looking back over the weekend, taking stock, seeing what went well, what went bad, and then committing for the week. Kind of funny if you think about it. I mean, it's totally arbitrary. It just completely doesn't matter. Like the day of the week when you commit, But we do it because it tends to fit in with our life. But here's something that was interesting. Here, can I tell you a little bit about how I used to do things? I'm going to tell you a little bit how I used to do things. You can't stop me because it's my live stream. And no one's here to stop me. Take the mic from me. When I'd make a mistake, let's say I decided I wanted to lose weight. I'd make a plan. I'd wake up that next morning and I'd skip breakfast because, a good dieter doesn't eat breakfast, And I'd get to lunch and I'd be like, well, I got to eat something healthy that I like and something good that'll help me lose weight. So what would I do? I would just say, well, what's something that doesn't have carbs? So usually my go-to is chicken wings, right? I just go to a restaurant. You can get chicken wings at any restaurant. You get them naked, unless you're going to do some buffalo sauce. And you dunk them in a shit ton of ranch. And it'd be a good meal, right? I mean, I'd be no carbs, but I could still have 20, 15 wings, right? And 4 little tubs of ranch. Like, that's okay. But I'd do that, and then I'd try to do it, hang out by the end of the day, and then maybe if I was lucky, I'd make it all the way to dinner and not have a problem. Then I'd get to dinner, and as long as no one was tempting me to do anything the way I used to do it, I could maybe keep it going. And maybe I could suffer through on the evening snacks and do things. I'd be like, yeah, I'm a good dieter. But here's the thing. I'd get to the end of the day, and I'd have that itch. That itch that needs scratching. Call it my snack itch, but let's be real. It was just my fix, my daily fix that I needed. And I would try to find something I could eat that would allow me to keep eating, but that would not violate my weight loss. So enter things like string cheese, deli meat, hot dogs with no bun, maybe wrap them in a low-carb tortilla. I'd get low-carb things like, the Atkins bars. But essentially, I'm just looking for snacks. I want, what can I snack that I can have a lot of? Because it's not like I just wanted it to be good. I wasn't looking to have a small amount of something. It's not like I was like, ooh, I could just use some chocolate. Just a little bit, just a couple of bites of chocolate. It's like, no, I wanted a lot of chocolate. Like a lot was a component of what I was looking for. A lot. And I'd be looking for things that I could lose weight and have a lot of. And, but what would often happen is like I'd make it to Tuesday and then a customer would want to go to lunch and they'd want to go like, well, let's go to the Golden Corral or let's go to some barbecue joint. That's really hard to, because I got all my favorite foods there, What do you mean? You're going to take me to a pizza joint? I'm losing weight, don't you know? So what would I do? I'd give up. I'd be like, well, I messed up. This day is ruined. I couldn't do the lunch on schedule. Gosh, I'm so bad at this. I don't know why I even try. And then I would sit there and feel so bad about myself. I'm like, I couldn't make it 2 days, literally a lunch. The second lunch of the week. And I'm already just going off my plan and I'm choosing to be a fat ass because I'm eating carbs. How could I? What's so bad about it? And I'm sitting there just like saying this shit to myself in my head. And of course, how's that making me feel about myself? Not great. No, really not feeling great about myself when I would do that. But of course, I'd do it. And then, I'd be like, well, what's the point? I already messed up today. This is how I tell myself, today's already messed up. And since today's already messed up, I'll just start fresh tomorrow. But again, this is sort of stupid when you stop and think about it. I never stopped and thought about it, ever. I never stopped and thought about it till I did. And when I stopped and thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. What difference does it make? Why am I going to recommit to getting back on it tomorrow morning? What the fuck kind of stupid broke ass logic is that I've been living by for 20 plus years? That is stupid logic. It's stupid. And I'm sitting, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I mean, in no other part of life would I say this makes sense. In no part of life would I say it makes sense. Yep, you messed up lunch, so you know what? I guess you might as well just fuck all the rest of the day and start fresh tomorrow. You know, you got one flat tire. Well, hot damn, one isn't enough. Let's get out with a knife and poke a hole in the other three. You drift off into the rumble strips a little bit because you're a dumb driver. Guess you got no choice. Take that sucker down into a ditch, find a tree, slam the gas, and head right for that tree because you made a mistake. You got to double down. Doubling down is the only logical thing when making a mistake. It'll totally make it better if you double down. And again, I'm sitting here thinking about this 6 years ago as I'm trying to figure out what do I got to do to not gain all my damn weight back. And I'm thinking about this whole thing of where I start and then I stop because I didn't have the right lunch. Now, what I didn't understand at the time, I now understand, is back then when that was getting me, you know what was getting me? Is I had this need, this deep need that I didn't know was there. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't. I didn't understand how big and strong this need and urge was, but I had this need to be perfect. I had this urge. I needed to be completely in control of who I am. I need to be completely in control of my actions. I need to not do anything wrong. I don't need people to know I make mistakes and that I can't get things right. And so when I'd make a mistake at lunch, when I would say shit like, well, I already ruined the day, which again, from a weight loss perspective is stupid logic. It's stupid. I even knew it, but I didn't care because I wasn't talking about weight loss. I was talking about maintaining my perfect self-image. It was important to me that I went to sleep one day and woke up the next different. No. I don't know how to tell you this other than just to tell you the same way I told me 6 years ago. Guess what? Those of you that aren't done, you're still fat today. You're going to go to bed today and you're still going to be fat. You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're still going to be fat. You're going to wake up a week from today and you're still going to be fat. You might have lost 5 pounds between now and then, but you're still fat. And I know this is cold to hear this, but it's think about it. You ain't done today. You ain't done tomorrow. You ain't going to be done next week. You ain't going to be done next month. Even if you were perfect, you ain't going to be done. So it's when I realized, I started thinking about it, I'm like, well, if I was going on a walk and I stumbled and fell down, I tripped over my own foot, I would just get up and keep going. Right? I just get up and keep going. Oh, wait, do I have this clip? Hold on. I might be able to find you a fun clip. Oh, this just popped into my memory. I did not prepare for this. I do not know exactly where this is. I will not hunt for it long at all. Actually, tell you what, while I'm hunting for this, here's what I'd love for you to do. Over here in the chat, if you could, tell me what your wins are. I want to see your wins right here. So in the last 7 days, what have you done in the name of your goal? Go ahead and tell that to me. And while you're doing it, I'm going to bring up some music. So go ahead, tell me your wins. And while you're doing that, I'm going to search for this clip that I actually really want to show you because I think this will be cool. So tell me your wins. What did you do in the last 7 days in the name of your goal? How did you win? How did you kick ass this last week? What'd you do? Doesn't matter if it was the first time. Doesn't matter if it was the 7th time. What did you do in the name of your goal? All right, let's see. And then I'm looking for this. What is your win? Tell me your win in the chat over here. While you're doing it, I am looking for a video clip. No, I want a movie file. All right, let's see. What do we got? Went out, had fun running. Something told me. Something old me would have said was crazy talk. Like that one here. Didn't gain weight. It's another good victory. I like it when we don't gain weight. What else? Tell me your wins. Tell me your wins. Laura passed by 3 Starbucks and didn't get the sweet drink I wanted. Waited till I got home to have lunch. Excellent. Sue spoke more positive to myself. Always a good sign when you start talking to yourself more positive. I said no to ice cream. I love it. Why'd you say no to the ice cream? Doesn't matter. Just sort of curious. What else? Tell me them wins. Tell me them wins in the chat. Let's see. Laura. Oh, let's see. That's responded to it. What other wins you got? What other wins you got? What did you do in the name of your goal in the last 7 days? Give me one thing you did in the name of moving closer to becoming thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. What'd you do? What'd you do? And again, while you're doing it, I know I'm looking off into the other land. It's because I got a file explorer right here, and I'm looking for a video clip to show you where I ate it in the woods. I mean, just straight up ate it. All right, let's see what else you got. Working out 5 days a week, half hour to an hour. Love it. I've been consistent with my workouts and calorie tracking. Excellent. Working out 5 days, half hour, walking 1,800 steps daily. Been taking smaller quantities because I can always go back for more. I like that. Actually, I did that trick too. Weekly step count increased by a lot. Journaling consistently. Found a new exercise I enjoy. Found a new exercise I enjoy. Down 1.5 pounds. I'm loving all these wins. Loving all these wins. Let's see, Rhea. I said no because I recognized it was food noise. Oh, that's an even bigger win. You recognized food noise and said no to it in the moment. That's huge. That's huge when you do that. Because that's a sign of progress. That's a sign you're going in the right direction. I hadn't found this clip yet because I got distracted by looking at your stuff. But I am... Come on. It's got to be here somewhere. I really want to show you this clip. What I'm doing is I'm just scrolling through clips and looking. There's a that's the video file from when I first met my wife. Or not first met my wife, when we first took a hike together. Okay, not there. I only got a couple more folders. If I don't find it real quick, I'm going to move on. And we'll come back to the example of what I was talking about. Because I edited it up. So I used it in social media. So it should be one of these locations. That's winter. No, it's not then. All right. Well, let me tell you a fun story that happened to me. When we're talking about the falling down, the whole getting up thing. So I was running in the woods years ago. I'm like a mile into it. And I hit a root or something. It was in the fall. Oh, actually, that just helped me. It was in the fall. And so I couldn't really see the roots because there's leaves on the ground. And I was running, caught a root, and just went. And when I landed, the GoPro, if you hit the record button, it automatically starts recording. And apparently I had the GoPro in my hand. And when I fell, I must have hit the record button. So when I landed, my live reaction to falling was captured on film. And I wanted to show you that. Hold on. I'm going to look one more time. I really want to show you this clip because I just think, I think it, I don't know. I think it really sells the story of what I'm trying to tell you is a big deal. All right, let's see. So let's try this. So here's Arkansas. Because fortunately the clip, when I scroll through it, it begins with my face in the dirt. So it's like really easy to spot when I see it pop up because again, my face is in the dirt. I'm like, I'm like screaming because it hurt. I mean, it hurt. It did not feel good. It did not feel good at all. Wow. No, it's not there. That's the summer. Go further down. No, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. Not there. Wow, it's all still summer. We got to get to the fall. There we go. Now I'm getting to the fall. Getting to the fall in the fall. Hey, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? I said fall when I was talking about fall. Gosh, how embarrassing, Chris. You're wasting all this time looking for this video clip, and then what if you don't even find it? People might judge you and think negatively of you. What would you do if somebody did that? If somebody thought poorly of you, you might not care. I don't care. Is that, oh, wait. Is that it? No, that's not it. It looked like it was it though. Dang it. Could have swore that was going to be it. All right, I think I give up. I think I'm going to give up here. Anyway, so I fell. When I say I fell, I mean I fell hard. Like I got up, I was bloody. I had blood all over my arm, and I'm like a mile away from my vehicle. And I remember thinking like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to go home? Like I'm a mile away. Like even if I get up and keep going, I still got to run back to my vehicle. So it's like, I remember sitting there and I'm like, well, I guess, I'm not dead. Might as well just continue the run. And so that's what I did. I just started running. So when you make a mistake on your weight loss journey, like on Tuesday, you botch lunch and you go to the old logic of like, oh, it's so bad, I ruined the whole day. What makes more sense is just to get up and keep going from that moment forward. I don't know how to tell you this. Other than, again, just to tell you point blank, there is no such thing as ruining the day. That's not a thing. It's not real. If you ruined the day, you made it up. You made it up. It's completely arbitrary that the day is ruined. I used to think that too. I'd be like, oh, this thing happened and now the day is ruined. I was having such a good day and now this bad thing happened at 5:00 p.m. and the whole day is ruined. This is how I used to operate. What sense does that make? That makes no sense. That's like one slice of pizza got messed up, so you throw out the whole pizza. The rest of the slices of pizza were just fine. They did not need to be thrown out. But that's what we do. We throw out the day because we had a bad moment. Why? Because we're a perfectionist. It's perfectionism that causes you to do this shit. Because when you make a mistake, your perfectionism says, see, you weren't perfect. You're not good enough. You need to stop and start over so you can have a perfect run again, self. You know, that's what the little weak self-perfection side of us says. The perfectionism side of us thinks we're weak. That's what it thinks. It doesn't think we're strong. It thinks we're weak, I've realized. And I had to look at this perfectionism side of me and be like, you don't know me. You don't know me, perfectionism. This is not what I want my life to be. All right, I give up on the clip. I give up. I just got to close that window so I stop being tempted to search for it. If I find it, I'll bring it back. So here's what I started doing that actually helped me on my weight loss journey to get up and keep going. I got up and kept going. That's it. Not any more complicated than that. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Fall down 8 times, get up 9. The thing is, some people are like, well, I fell down and I got up. Yeah, but you waited a month and a half. A month and a half. Why? Like, what was so important that you needed to wait a month and a half to get up? Nothing. Oh, I was sad. Be sad while you're running. I was hurting and bleeding while I was going. I fell down, I'm bloodied and I'm bruised and I'm mad at the rock or the log that I stumbled on, but I just keep going. And you know what? After a mile or two, I felt fine. It's like I didn't need to sit my ass on the ground and be like, I am not running because of this route right here. I tripped on it 20 minutes ago. I can't keep running because I tripped on this route. I was not perfect. Hey, and then somebody comes by like, hey, I just need you to know the reason why I'm not walking like you is because I tripped on this route about 30 minutes ago. All right. And so I'm just sitting here and I'm feeling bad about myself. So I just need you to know I could keep running, but I can't because of this route. And of course, if a person walked by and saw someone doing that, they'd walk by and be like, I think something's wrong with that person. Like, if we take our weight loss logic and we put it to almost anywhere else in life, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. I had to ruin that in my head. 6 years ago, in the beginning of my journey, the one that finally took, I firmly believe a reason why I've been able to lose the weight and keep it off is I started looking at myself and looking at my logic in my brain and going, Terrell, your logic is dumb. It's broke. It's stupid. It makes no sense. Why are you doing this? You like to be looked at as a smart person, but if we look at what you're doing, you're being a stupid person. So stop doing the stupid person thing. Stop. Why are you doing it, Chris? And of course, I'm like, because I'm a perfectionist. It's always what it came down to. Why am I a perfectionist, though? Didn't you ever stop and ask that question? I had never stopped and asked that question before. Why am I a perfectionist? Like, I don't like being a perfectionist. On paper, I know how being a perfectionist is no good. I even am aware it's a problem. But why do I keep doing it? Why can't I let it go? Why can I not let go of my perfectionism? Because it's keeping me fat. I mean, it's me, but you know what I mean. Why? Why can't I let it go? How is the perfectionism serving me? You see, that was something different. I never stopped and asked myself in the previous journeys how my behavior was serving me. All I did was look at the behaviors that I didn't want to do, and I judged them and says they're bad and I shouldn't want to do them. And so I didn't. But it's like, my perfectionism, my need to be perceived as perfect was getting me messed up. But why? You know, when we're talking about this metaphorical route that I tripped over, why would I even feel the need to tell it to people as they walk by? Like, why? Oh, I found the answer. I found the answer to why my perfectionism was important to me. And when I figured out the answer to why my perfectionism was important to me, I began to be able to start changing it. And it required me to sacrifice something. Something that I still to this day will find myself having to work through. So it's not like I have licked this. I have just gotten light years better than I used to be. I mean, I'm so far from where I was 6 years ago. But like, it's still there. My life's some. But you want to know what it is? The reason why I was a perfectionist and the reason why being a perfectionist served me is because I wanted other people to think well of me. I was very concerned and preoccupied about the thoughts of other people. Not just all their thoughts, though. No, not just thoughts. Their thoughts specifically about me. I was very interested and very concerned about what other people thought of me. The idea of being thought of as being incompetent terrified me. The idea that somebody might think Chris Terrell is stupid terrified me. The idea that someone might say Chris Terrell is lazy terrified me. The idea that somebody might say Chris Terrell is weak-willed terrified me. The idea that somebody might say I make mistakes, therefore I'm not perfect, terrified me. It was important that I was reliable, dependable, which means I don't fail. At first, it was innocent, just worrying about the opinions of my parents and my family about me. But then it became my community. Then it became strangers on the street. Then it became everybody I ever met. I was trying to make everybody happy. My weight loss wasn't just for me. I needed to tell people about it. Look how good I'm doing, everybody. I'm losing weight. Why? Why would I do that? Why did I do that? Because I was looking for praise. I was looking for accolades from people. Oh, Chris, you're doing so good. You're such an inspiration. I'm so proud of you. They said they're proud of me. I can be proud of me now. They said it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me you're proud of me. Thank you. And then I go home feeling all proud of myself. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I did something cool and somebody acknowledged it. I get to be proud of me. And then like 2 or 3 days later, it'd fade off. So I need another, I'm proud of me. So the scale, I'll get on the scale. The scale will go down. And what happens is when I lose weight, people tell me they're proud of me. So if they don't tell me this day, but if I see the scale go down, I know when I'm proud of me is coming. So let's get on the scale. Oh, it went down. Oh, I'm so good. Oh, I'm such a good dieter. I'm so good at losing weight. I'm so good at all this. Oh, I made a mistake today. Somebody might think I'm weak. I might think I'm weak. Oh no, this means I'm weak. Oh no, if somebody echoes this, if I don't get any compliments. You see, I was chasing all the praise and the accolades. I didn't understand. Me chasing praise and accolades is part of why I kept getting fat. Because it just fed my perfectionism. It fed it. Because everybody else's opinion of me mattered more than my opinion of me. And then I took it from everybody else's opinion of me mattered as much as my opinion of me. And you know what? It wasn't any better. It wasn't any better. Because I was constantly being thrashed by other people's opinions because you can only please some of the people some of the time. under the best of circumstances. If you think you are universally loved by everybody, you are lying to yourself. You are not. Some people think you're insufferable. Me too. I know that there are plenty of people that find Chris Terrell to be an insufferable person to be around. I don't care. I don't care. Somebody thinks you, yes, you, are insufferable. They find you to just be so obnoxious they don't want to talk to you. Your presence irritates them. Isn't that funny? I know there are people that feel that way about me. Just me being in the room. They don't even want to be there. And here's the funny thing is, I know a few of them. Like, I know who a few of them are. There's a bunch I don't even know. There are people out there that cannot stand me, and I don't even know who they are. I don't even know. Literally, if I show up on their feet, they're like, oh. There are people, if I walk in the room, I'm sure of it, they're like, Chris is here. I don't even know who they are. And I don't give a shit. I don't care. And I've never been more free. I've never been more free. When I gave a shit about what anybody thought of me, good or negative, I was ruled by their fucking opinions that I can't control because they're making up shit in their head about what I'm doing anyway. It's not even real. And I'm over here trying to make sure they like me. Oh, my boss needs to like me. My boss needs to think real highly of me because I work for my boss. You know, my boss needs to like me as a person. No. We got to get along. Yeah, we got to be friends, but I ain't got to be perfect. Who's asked me to be perfect? Here's the funny thing is, I was all worried about the expectations of others, but actually other people totally were understanding when I'd make mistakes. I was the only one that wasn't understanding when I make mistakes. The reality is I was so afraid of what other people would have thought that I would imagine it in my head. I was more afraid of my imagination than I was of reality, but I told myself my imagination was reality. I never stopped and asked myself, am I making shit up in my head and then reacting to it as if it's real? I never stopped and asked myself that until about 6 years ago. And then I started asking myself that. I'm like, is everything the way I see it? And it was years of unpacking that. Years. So I'm hoping I can shortcut that for you. But over the years, I started realizing, wow, I make up so much stuff and then react to it and then tell myself it's real. And it wasn't. I made it all up. And then I reacted to it in my head. I took truth and I added story to it that wasn't true. And I reacted to the story. And then I'd forget that it was a story. And then 6 months later, the story was fact. But I forgot. Y'all, I was such a doofus. My logic made no sense. And I never stopped and thought about it. I never stopped and thought about it. You know why? You know why? This is something I was talking to my wife about just recently, because people, I realized, me too, they're afraid of feeling stupid. How funny. People they will be stuck in failure. They would rather be a failure than look stupid. I would rather be not getting what I want than getting what I want and feeling stupid. I'd rather not get what I want and feel smart than get what I want and feel stupid first. I would never give that advice to anyone. And yet it is exactly the advice I took. It's exactly the advice I took to myself. I'd rather not be a success and preserve my self-image of not failing, even though I'd forget that I was getting fatter every year. So I was actually progressively failing. Like, it's not like I was failing at weight loss, so I went to something else that I wasn't failing at. No, I just went from failing at weight loss to failing so permanently and swan diving into failure that I could no longer see that I am living as a failure. I couldn't even see it. Because the mind has this weird thing. Long-term versus immediate term, the brain perceives it differently. So being a grand failure, the mind can have a hard time perceiving because in the moment I can numb it away. But in the moment, failure is very sharp feeling. And it's hard to numb away, especially when the numbing it away is the thing you're supposed to stop doing. I know some of you truly think that you should care about what certain people in your life, like Rhea, I saw here, you put a thing, I don't care what strangers think of me. However, I still care what people I respect and love think about me. I don't. I care about what my wife thinks of me and my stepkids think of me. End of list. But guess what? They don't come above my opinion of me. And I expect everybody else, I don't want to be their number one. There is not a person in this planet that my opinion of them, I think should supersede theirs. My wife's opinion of herself should always supersede mine. Mine should never matter more, in my opinion. This is how I live my life. And when I used to live my life thinking that it's okay to have special carve-outs of people whose opinion matter more than me, you know what I was? Miserable as fuck. I was miserable. Miserable. But when I stopped caring about what anybody thinks, and when I stopped needing accolades and praise from anyone, I became free. When I needed accolades and praise from others, I was simultaneously giving them the power to harm me with a negative opinion. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it where you don't care if people have negative opinions of you, but you do care if they have a positive opinion of you. It doesn't work that way. You got to not care about any of it. You got to care about your opinion of you above and beyond everybody else's, and it cannot be close. And no, this isn't narcissism. This is called self-esteem. The first step before anybody else should believe in you and think you're great is you got to believe in you and think you're great. If you don't believe in you, why should anybody else believe in you? Why? Why should they? They shouldn't. If you don't believe in you, no one else should believe in you. You are the one that matters more than anyone else. You. There's no one more important in your life than you. And I know some of you are like, well, but my kids, my family, my pet, my this, my that. No, they're all great too, but guess what? They're the most important person in their life. And you're the most important person in yours. We are all the main character of our own play. I don't know if you know that. We're all the main character. Parents, guess what? Your kids don't want you, your adult kids don't want you to still be a mom to them the way that you were when they were 12. They don't want it anymore. Stop. You don't want them to be that way. Dads, stop trying to fix everything and control everything. Let people make their mistakes. You got to just start letting people mess up. You got to stop trying to manage everybody else's life when you ain't managed your own life. I love seeing people. I love it. Seeing people out there like trying to tell everybody how to solve a problem they ain't solved yet. I used to be one of them. You know, I'm over here fat, can't get my weight under control, but I know how to lose weight. And I talk to somebody who's trying to lose weight. Let me tell you how you're supposed to do it. Let me tell you about losing weight. You got to do it this way, this way, this way. I literally do this for a living now. I've made it an obsession. I have forgotten more about weight loss now than most people know. And I'll still have people that are fat, not been able to get their weight under shape, sit there and lecture me on how it's done and why it doesn't work. I'm like, really? Okay. I mean, I don't care, but like, this is interesting that you're doing this, because it's like you don't have the results. So clearly what you know doesn't work because you can't do it. You can't do it. If you can't do it, your plan sucks. So the plan needs to be doable. If it's not doable, it's a stupid plan. So don't go telling me your stupid plan because you can't do it. Oh, here we go. This is good. This is good. I like this question, Rhea. I'm gonna bring this one. We're gonna talk about this one. I gotta bring my mouse over here. I realized I care what people think. People I love think because I'm afraid of them leaving me. However, what would happen if they left me? I'd be sad for a bit, then move on. Exactly. Exactly. The hurt is temporary unless you hang on to it and make it permanent. You have the power to make the hurt permanent until you die. You have that power. But you're right. You also have the power to just move the fuck on. You just move on. You move on. You know what happened when my dad died? I got sad for a couple of years and then I moved on. Still love him. Still think about him every day. But I moved on. Because I want to be okay. The reality is I could lose everyone I love in life. I'll be sad for a bit and then I'll move on. My wife could lose me and lose the whole family. She'd be sad for a bit, and then she'd move on. Because that's what humans do. We move on. But we forget that because we want to avoid pain. And there's always somebody else's whose opinion of us we can care about. I'm telling you, if you want to live a life of happiness, if you want to make your weight loss journey easier, stop putting opinions of others above yours. There's a sign from Andy Grammer. I want to love myself without needing someone else to say it to me. Because I can be mean in my mind, beat myself up all the time. I can eat myself alive with awful thoughts. But somehow, I'm going to find out how to say it to myself. I love you. You should be able to say that to yourself without needing somebody else. And you should accept it. The challenge is a lot of you will say it to yourself, but you won't accept it. Because we form these opinions of ourselves, but we're unwilling to let ourselves fully believe it until we have a second, third, fourth, and fifth opinion to validate it. Oh, no, this is a big one right here. Yeah. But question, why won't you listen to her? She's clearly a model and clearly knows what she's doing. And she knows you better than probably anybody else does. She knows you way better than I know you. I mean, the difference is I'm probably more willing to piss you off than she is, to have you see what you need to see. But like, why won't you just listen to her? You have a live-in model. She lost 200 pounds and has kept it off. And she knows you. Your partner knows you probably better than anybody else. And she knows things about you that you don't know. Like she has information about who you are that you don't know. And you think you know all of you, but you don't. You don't know what she knows about you that she hasn't told you because she doesn't feel safe to tell you because she doesn't trust your reactions. This comment tells me everything right here, man. You have an answer living in your home and your pride isn't letting you get it. Why? Why? You have a live-in person who has done what you're trying to do and has been successful at keeping it off. I'm not saying you got to copy exactly, but why can't you do both, right? You listen to her, you listen to me, you listen to a whole bunch of people, right? Like you get information. I mean, who cares where the information comes from? You should be getting information anywhere and everywhere you possibly can. When I was losing weight, you know who I went to? Everybody. There was no such thing as a sacred cow. I went to every skinny person, every weight loss person, anything I could possibly have. You can't take criticism from her. Wait, what are you talking about criticism? Weight loss advice isn't criticism. Saying like, hey, if you did this differently, you would get a different result. That's not criticism. That's information. The story that you're telling yourself about it converts it to criticism. You could tell yourself a different story that converts it into feedback designed to help you with love. That's a you thing, my dude. Again, I know this one. I know this because I used to be this way. I was all worried about who I'd get advice from, but then I discovered something. Who cares where you get the advice from? It doesn't matter. The only reason you would care is because you care about what the other person thinks of you. That's the only reason you'd care. Her criticism of you, the only reason it bothers you is you care what she thinks of you. You don't care what I think of you. That's why you can take it from me. That's why what I'm doing right now, even if I piss you off, you'll just move on and you'll move on with life. And after 6 months, you'll never think about me again, right? Cool. But it might be why you can hear me and you don't add a whole bunch of extra story to it. This is your biggest opportunity for growth right here. You have a person who is living in your home that is a gold mine of information who could present it to you in a way that is directly applicable to you. I'd have to work with you for a long time before I could probably match the amount of insight into who you are that she has. So like, dude, I'm going to challenge you. This is your personal growth project. Go learn 10 things from her that you don't know right now about managing weight. Go learn 10 things. I want to write a list of 10 that you learned from her that you didn't know. If you can't take the unsolicited advice and criticism from her, then go to her. Eat some humble pie and some crow and admit you don't know what you're doing. Admit you ain't figured this out yet, because you ain't. You can't say you figured it out until you're skinny, my man. Like, you can't. You can just say you are figuring it out. You're on the way, but you can't say I've figured it out until you've lost it. Then you can say you figured it out. And even then, all you can say is I figured out how to lose weight. You can't know you've kept it off until you've kept it off for years. Years. So like, this is your growth zone, man. This is your growth zone. And the beauty is all this advice is going to help you. Like, this is a win, 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 win. The only person that's going to be bothered by this is your ego. Your ego is not going to like this. So here's what you do. You look inside the landscape of your mind and you find this beautiful, round, shiny rock. And you pick it up and inside your mind, you throw it at your ego. And you watch it just ding your ego in the head. And then if your ego gets up, you pick up another rock and you throw it at it. You're like, stop. You are preventing me from getting the truth that you want, ego. Stop. Stop. If you don't stop, I'm going to keep throwing rocks at you. Instead, what do? We throw rocks at the thing that gets our ego all worked up. The person has advice, and so we throw rocks at them. It's like, no, throw stones at your ego. Now, you said here, it's work partner, but yes, 100%. Irrelevant. Same thing. It's somebody close to you in your life that knows you intimately. If you're using the phrase partner, they know you. At least they should, I would assume. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying do it because she's hurt or whatever. Like, that'll be a nice bonus. If you go and ask this person, they won't get hurt. That's a lovely bonus. I'm actually coming at this because I'm only interested in you because you're one of my people. So I'm only interested in your success and your growth. And I see you letting something silly, like worrying about what another person thinks of you, getting you in the way of you getting what you want. Like, fuck off anybody else's opinion of you. Who cares? It doesn't matter. When you're winning, when you're skinny, when you've become thin, healthy, happy, in shape, and you've been keeping it off for 5 years, you're not going to give a shit what other people are thinking about you right now. You're just not going to care. So just act as if you don't care. And just go, I want information that is going to help me be successful. And if you go to this person in a nice, kind, respectful way, they'll keep letting you come back to them. So it benefits you to be kind and respectful because then you leave the door open. I mean, if you do it, I don't think you would do this, but like if you did it weird, they might not want to help you. But I'm telling you, this is like so much of us, our ego gets in the way of our own growth because our ego doesn't want to feel inept. It doesn't want to feel stupid. It doesn't want to feel incompetent. It doesn't want to be looked at as imperfect, whatever it is. And a weight loss journey will make you come face to face with your ego faster than anything else. Because it's you versus you. That's who it's against. You versus you. You versus you. And I realized this on my journey. It was me versus me. I didn't have the ability to say, I'm going to go do this tomorrow, and then I'd go do it. I didn't possess that ability. I could only do it unless I was all super motivated. If I was real motivated, then I could do it. But unless I was like, I had motivation coursing through my veins, there's no guarantees I was going to do tomorrow what I said I was going to do. But when I worked on that for months, getting it to where I would just do what I say I'm going to do, I started to get massive transformation. Now, I did not immediately let go of the accolades of others. I know I'm talking about letting it go. So I want to be realistic here for a second. It is a good 18 months of pretty aggressively working on it before I started to feel like I was getting divorced from the opinions of others. It was, about 18 months. But I mean, because what would happen is I started noticing when I would learn of a negative opinion of me from the wild, at first it would sting. Like it would hurt to hear that. Like it hurt, like in my heart. Like I feel like I was stabbed. And then slowly over time, it just sort of felt like a little paper cut, a little poke, a little pinch, until eventually it's just like, oh, yeah, I guess they did say that. Well, that kind of bothered me, man. And I'd move on until eventually somebody would say something bad about me, and I'd be like, huh. I feel nothing. Just complete and total indifference. And what happens is you realize you finally have won the game. We'll end here with some piece of advice my dad gave me there's lots of pieces of advice my dad gave me that has truly been life-changing, but this has been one of the most helpful. He gave it to me many, 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 many years ago. I've been trying to understand it. It sounds simple, and you'd think you'd understand it right on the surface, but you'll realize applying it you have to learn. And that is, the best way to win the game is to stop playing. You just stop playing the game. And at first I used to know what he mean, like, right? Yeah. But then I started realizing, no, this goes so deep. Like the game of caring what other people think. That's a game. It's this fun little game humans play between each other where we try to get each other to think we're impressive and like each other and think we're great. Because we crave connection. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's something we do. But when you're seeking the praise and accolades, let's be real, you're trying to win something. That's what you're trying to win. You're trying to win the approval from another human. You're trying to do something that compels the other person to say how great you are. But when you stop playing that game and you stop needing it, think of all the amount of effort and time you have dedicated in your life, including thinking energy, towards winning approval from other people. Now imagine if you didn't spend any of that time on that anymore, ever, because you didn't need to. What would you do at that time? What if at the same time you started reducing your stress across the board, all over the place? Think of all the things that live in your head rent-free, all the stressors that regularly bother your mind rent-free. You'll notice a lot of them are tied to the opinions of others. If you really dig in deep, I do this exercise with people. Sometimes we'll do a coaching session. We'll just keep digging in deep and we see that all roads keep leading back to you're worried about what other people think of you. What if you divorced yourself from worrying about what other people thought of you? What if you just didn't care? What would you do? How easy would life be? Because remember, if you didn't care, it's not like you're choosing to feel bad. You are choosing to only feel based off what you tell yourself. No, you are in control of you. You're not in control of anybody else. Now you've reclaimed your power. And here's the thing, though. When you do this, when you reach the indifference, you will begin to discover that, yeah, some people don't like you. But you won't care. There were two things that helped me with this with family. I just saw this comment just showed in here in family. A wise person once told me two things. Number one, family doesn't get a free pass. Just because you're family, you don't get a free pass to treat me and do whatever you want to me. You are, once I'm over 21, and as long as I don't need your financial help, I am not beholden to you in any way. Just the fact that you did something for me in my life 20 years ago means nothing today. That does not give you power over me. Parents don't have power over me. So family doesn't get a free pass. If you're an asshole to me, if you are rude to me, if you're not kind to me, I bear no ill will towards you. I just won't be hanging out with you. And if you're my family, blood doesn't matter to me in that regard. The way you treat me matters to me. Because I now am old enough and I now see that family has nothing to do with blood. Blood does not mean family. Blood means relative, right? Some of you, your parents, your dad was just a sperm donor. He was a piece of shit. He's not your dad. He's a sperm donor that gave you life. And you don't need to concern yourself with some of these people. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You know your dad. I mean, you know that, like, you know. Some of you, your mom's a controlling narcissist. All right, cut her off. If she can't act like a proper civilized human being, then cut her off. Oh, but she's my mom. So, but she'll hate me. She's a narcissist. She ain't thinking about you at all. It's all about, she's thinking about how you make her feel. It ain't about you. It's about her. So if your mom's a narcissist and she can't leave her narcissism off of you, then maybe you got to cut her off. Or maybe you got to limit exposure, right? Like family doesn't get a free pass. Number two, your family is not supposed to be the worst people in your life. It's supposed to be the best. There you go. It's real simple. Your family is supposed to be the best people in your life. If they are not the best, then maybe you should get rid of them. Okay, so this is an interesting, when it's an observation of a superior who doesn't really care for you, this is a work thing. Why the fuck should your boss care about you that much? Look, I care about my people deeply as humans. But understand, I could love a human deeply, but if their quality of work is no good, you can't work here. You can't work with me. You can't work because like your quality of work is what matters. I'm not hiring you as a human. I'm hiring you for your work. And as a human, I want to work with you. So, if you go to a big, large corporation, you don't work for people. You work for a corporation, and the corporation doesn't care. And going to a corporation and asking it to care is like screaming at the sun to not rise tomorrow. You're wasting your breath. If you want to go to a place where you care, you go work for a small company, a family business, a local business, a regional business, right? Where they can have a soul and humans are still touching things. But you don't need them to care for you because you should be caring for you. That was the thing I realized. I used to expect my boss, my employers, my coworkers, my clients, all of them to be looking out for me. No, they're looking out for themselves. And I wasn't looking out for me, and then I'm getting all bothered that they weren't looking out for me. It is harder. I will agree with you that it's harder, but it doesn't change anything. Part of why it's harder is because we're asking our job to provide something it shouldn't be providing. It just complicates things. It makes it harder. And so, I want my boss, my employers to care about my quality of work. I want them to care about my output. And I want to care about their rewards to me for my output, right? If I'm giving you a bunch of work and you're not paying me, I'm leaving. If, I don't get paid well enough, then why are you still at this job? I can't get a job that pays more. Bullshit. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Well, I don't know how. Exactly. You might have to take 2 years and go get new skills so that you can get a better job, right? You might not be able to do it today, but you can do it in the future. And so I look at this, it's like if you got a boss or you got a place who doesn't really care for you and you want them to care for you, then you need to leave and go get another job. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's really not that hard. You just go get another job. And if you love this job, then you have to give up you have to give up having an opinion about them caring about you. We have to remember businesses aren't family. Businesses aren't charity. That's not how they work. Somewhere along the line, people started thinking companies should be charitable organizations. I think businesses should be generous, and I think they should give freely, but not at the expense of the business. The business has to continue on because a business usually has a lot of people that are attached to it. And if the business goes under, all the people that are attached to it lose the thing that provides them the money to keep their life going. It loses the thing that gives them the purpose, the jobs they like to go do, the tasks they like to do. Instead, people go to their business and expect it to be a charity. I don't know. See how that works out for you. When I tried that, it didn't work out very well for me. When I finally stopped doing that, all of a sudden work got easier. It got way, way easier when I stopped caring so much about what they thought of me and instead just started worrying about what I think about my quality of work. And I didn't think my quality of work had anything to do with me as my personal self-image and self-worth. When you divorce your self-worth from work and you divorce your self-worth from the output of your work and the quality of your work, all this gets easier. It gets easier and easier and easier. But as I said earlier, I'm trying to set it to expectations. Like this was 18 months of diligent work. Like I was a VP of sales. So I was pretty fortunate in a sales world. I have a lot of opportunity to practice people having difficult opinions of me and shaking it off and people getting it wrong. I was also a leader, so I had to practice giving bad news. I had to practice holding people accountable. I mean, I still remember the first time I was really getting into this. And in the past, anytime I had to give everybody a performance improvement plan, which is usually like, hey, here are all the ways you're messing up. You got 90 days to fix these. We're going to check in every 14 days. And if we don't see improvements, you're not going to have a job at the end of the 90 days. And you may not even make it to the end of the 90 days. Like that's tough news to give somebody. And in the past, that would cripple me. I mean, I would be an emotional wreck for days leading up to it. I would be an emotional wreck throughout it. And then I'd be an emotional wreck after if it didn't go well. And I still remember on my journey, I'm getting ready. I'm like, all right, it's time to do this. And I'm just like, I feel neutral. I wasn't excited to do it. Like I was aware in my mind, I'm like, that she's not going to like this. Like, this isn't going to be pleasant for her. Like, and so I'm going to be empathetic. I'm going to be kind about it. But like, I have to do this because if I'm in my mind, I was finally, because I wasn't so worried about what she thought of me, I could only think about her because I was no longer thinking about me. The reality is when I was the manager and I was all worried and beating myself up on the inside, I was making this all about me. I was not being compassionate and empathetic towards her. I thought I was by being like, oh, I feel so bad for this terrible thing I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, I was really just worried about what she was going to think of me. I was worried about my self-image that lives in her head. But when I didn't need to worry about that anymore, now I could finally see her and say, okay, here's a person who is struggling in her job and she wants to keep her job and she wants to do a good job. I can see she wants to do a good job, but she's really struggling. And I've been giving her the subtle hints and she's not getting it. So now I have to hit her with the black and white and I have to put an ultimatum out there. But now that I'm not worried about me, I'm only worried about her. I can say, what is the way to bring this up in a way that she'll hear, in a way that will result in her actually getting better and keeping her job 90 days later? That was a really interesting discovery to realize that my preoccupation with myself was actually selfish. I was a selfish, self-centered, egotistical asshole. But I said it's because I was worried about what other people thought. I was concerned with others. I didn't like that I was hurting people. I didn't mind that I was hurting people. I didn't like that I was hurting people and they were going to think poorly of me. I didn't like people thinking poorly of me. But when all of a sudden it didn't matter, now I could put all of my attention and focus on what does the person in front of me need most? How can I help them value their own self-worth? Now, I'll tell you the story with this person. The performance improvement plan worked out great. She became one of my best salespeople within 90 days. Completely turned it around. And it was awesome because when we would have our meeting, of course, she took it poorly. She was very upset, but I never took anything personally. Nothing bothered me. I was like, I understand, this is a person hearing tough news and she's having an emotional reaction to it. I don't need to be bothered by this. I can just let her have her reaction, let her work through it, and then I'll be here. I'll be calm. It's like, because I'm not taking offense. I'm not going to tango. I'm not going to make it personal. We just talk about it. And I'm like, I'll see you next week. We'll talk about it. We talk next week. Meetings get a little better. We talk next week. You do our 14-day check-in. And again, her opinions of me don't matter. I'm not trying to get her to like me. I'm trying to get her to like herself. And I'm trying to get her to like her quality of work. And so it's like, I'm able to show her where she's doing well, able to show her where she's not. I was going out with her on sales calls and helping her get better. Like this was lockstep, hand in hand. I mean, I wasn't like, you got to do better and then left her off on her own. No, I'm like, you got to do better and I'm going to get in the trenches with you. Like I'm going to do everything I can, but you got to meet me halfway. If you don't meet me halfway, you're going to have to pound pavement. And of course, she met me halfway. We showed up to all the sales calls. She started taking notes. She started listening. And again, she turned it around and just started kicking ass. And then she got a better paying job. It's funny how that works sometimes. I don't care. Because again, even that, I didn't take it personal. I was nothing but happy for her. In the past, that would have bothered me. I put all this work into her, and then she has the audacity to leave and go somewhere else. What about all this that I did? See, it's all about me. But when I was like, no, I don't care. I want to do a good job with my job. You're part of my team. I need you to do a good job, and I want you to do a good job, and you're a person, and your self-worth is sacred, and my self-worth is sacred, and I'm not going to own your self-worth, and you're not going to own mine. But we got this job we got to do. I'm going to tell you how it is. And then when she, left and she made the turn because I was just happy for her, she was making the turn. Then I found out she gets a better paying job. It was in a totally different industry. Even she actually jumped industries. But I don't know. Maybe what she did helped her. I don't know. But all I know is I was just happy for her. Like, this is wonderful. I'm so glad you got this job. I genuinely think what we did helped that happen because she leveled up massively. And when I had that experience, that just solidified to me, even in the workplace, how important it is to not care what other people think about you and to only care about what other people think about themselves. If you can help other people improve their relationship with themselves, here's the funny thing. They'll actually like you. It's weird, but they'll actually think nicer of you. If a person walks up to you and they walk away feeling better about themselves than when they walked up, even if they learned nothing about you, they're going to walk away liking you. They're going to be like, I really liked being around that person. I walked away. I felt better about myself when I was around that person. I think I'd like to go be around that person again. There's great power in this, but if you are so interested in what they think about you, you're not interacting with them for their benefit fully. You're robbing some of it for you. But if you can fill your own cup, if your opinion of you is all that matters, and everybody else is just feedback and information, and if you're just helping them feel better about themselves, you actually end up feeling better about yourself. It heals you. So, just some food for thought for you to think about. Because on a weight loss journey, you're going to interact with a lot of people. And working on what goes on up here, when you interact with other people, will reduce the stress in your life. And if we can reduce the stress in your life, we will reduce the desire to emotionally eat. And if the desire to emotionally eat is reduced, you will eat less food that had nothing to do with hunger. And if you eat less food that had nothing to do with hunger, any weight loss you achieve will be more sustainable because you won't eat it back. So I want you to see that connection, to see that worrying about the opinions of others will lead to weight loss or weight gain or weight maintenance. Not worrying about the opinions of others will lead to something. And ultimately, if you can get yourself to not need other people to build up your ego, and if you're the only one that builds up your ego, you'll be bulletproof.
Remember, narcissists are narcissists because they cannot build up their own ego. They have a fragile, broken ego inside. And so everything you see is a facade. A truly self-confident person does not need others to build them up. They get everything they need internally. And when you get everything you need internally, your emotional eating is going to go down. That's a big deal. That's a real big deal. All right. Have a great week, everybody. If you like the live stream, be sure to like, subscribe. You'll get notified. I go live here every Monday morning. Also, I have not opened the doors in a bit to the guild. I've been rebuilding the guild on a new platform called Circle. The transition is still underway. Probably got another month of getting everybody transitioned over, and as well as fixing it as people break it. As people get in there, we're working that. But once that's done, we will do I'll do another guild opening. We're looking at probably September for doing the next guild launch to let people come in. Probably. Don't hold me to that yet. I'll confirm as we get closer. The Guild 2.0, which is what I'm calling it, is a massive upgrade that's coming. There's so many cool things in the works. Some cool things are already there, but I can't wait to have more people in there. Such a great program, and it's nice getting off of Facebook. I'm like 90% sure I'm going to shutter my Guild Facebook page, and we're just going to live on Circle. I just think there's a lot of benefits to getting away from Facebook. But anyway, all right, have a great day, everybody. Have a great week. Go crush your weight loss goals. So glad you're here, and I'll see you next week on the Monday Morning Motivation.